So good morning guys, another day, another snow. First thing I wanted to say about my previous video where me and Yelena were riding together is that I actually forgot. One person in the comments wrote something that's really correct, and that's when the pillion wants to mount the bike, it should be happening from the left side. So the pillion should mount the bike from the left side, or the side where the side stand is, and the side stand should be put down. And that's because, just in case, if the pillion is too heavy, because he or she climbs the left foot peg, the bike will be slightly destabilized, and depending on how heavy your pillion is, that can cause the bike to lean too much on the left. And if you as a rider for some reason are not ready for that, or maybe you have some pain in your left leg, I don't know what can happen, and the side stand is not down, the bike can fall down. That's again not so often to happen, but of course there's higher chances if the rider is shorter person. So it's always advisable to do it from the left side with the side stand down, because then side stand will take the force and the bike will still be upright. And another thing is, the pillion should always communicate with the rider when they want to climb the bike, mount the bike, because again the rider should be knowing what's happening, because many times you can put your hands off the handlebar and not ready for that, your legs are not squeezed, and the bike starts to fall down. It actually happened to me, that's what I'm saying. And since then I told my wife always to tell me when she's climbing, to ask me for permission, and then she climbs the bike when I tell her. Actually, not directly comparable to that situation, but once I actually was late somewhere, and I was riding my Ninja Z1000 SX, and I mounted the bike, and I immediately remembered I forgot something in the apartment, and I wanted to go down off my bike, but I forgot the kickstand is up, and the bike just fell on the ground, lying there. I felt so dumb. On some bikes, actually, if they are older and maybe they don't have this sensor for checking if the side stand is up or no, but even if they have the sensor, I don't think we should trust lots of these electronics, because sometimes it might just stop working and you're depending on it. So what can happen is, during the ride in the corner or something, if your kickstand is not fully down, or you can scratch it on the asphalt, it can cause you to crash even. So always check on that side stand. I don't like electronics in general. Ah man, this always frozen again. So like I said, I don't like electronics. I had this experience with fully equipped bikes, and like H2SX SE Plus, it had everything. It did everything for me basically. Even Ryan F9 was telling about that. How the bike is stable, you feel in control, and it's all nice, but it takes from the riding experience. Like for me at least, there's riders of course who appreciate this, who like this. For me, I like the basic electronics, like ABS I consider really necessary, and the traction control can be really helpful, like for anyone basically. Personally, I'm really careful about my riding, but even I know, there's a margin of human error, so it's good to have this traction control as a safety. But you know, then there's like this cornering controlled traction control, ABS controlled electronics. There is like this gimmicks at the time, I don't know how they work today, but it's called cornering lights. At the time when I bought my H2SX, those cornering lights were sucking pretty well. And even the main headlight was nothing special, to be honest. I believe my MT-07 had basically similar light output to the H2SX, and the price is incomparable, like 4 times the price of the bike. So, you know, they take from the riding experience. Like, I'm riding because of the freedom. Like, this morning my father asked me, like, are you gonna go with a car? I said, not a car, man. Like, I will be sitting in the office for 8 hours, maybe even more, who knows. And then I should sit also in the box that will take me to work and back, those 25 minutes. I don't really like that, to be honest. And to have all these electronics that actually control all of the things for you, I don't know, I feel like boxed again. Okay, that was I think a bit dumb, but it's the habit of that person to drive like a truck, like a bus. And he put the turn signal quite late, really late. You know, I believe there should be a really good reason behind riding for anyone. Like, there's people who, you know, ride to relieve the stress or to get away from something. Like, they feel like that will give them the, you know, freedom they want to feel. Like, they want to feel some adrenaline, some acceleration, and blah blah blah. But I believe those reasons are actually pretty stupid for riding bike. I believe everyone should be fixing their route, you know. The bike should not serve as a medicine. The bike should serve as something different. Like, it should help you relax, it should help you see new people, meet new people, explore new places. It should take you from A to B in a safe manner. Like, thinking like if you're working somewhere, like I'm working in the office, and you know, the bike will give you something else. The bike will give you freedom to feel more alive, to feel like you don't have boundaries. But all of that comes with a price of, you need to know what you're doing, of practicing. And I saw, even like when I was working in fitness, lots of people coming to the gym to try to cover something up, to patch something up. Like, you know, they feel like, you know, I will get stronger, I will be bigger, and I will be more respected, I will be more likable from other people, or more feared. I think those reasons are pretty dumb and stupid. Like, you should first work on yourself for both motorcycling and fitness and whatever you're doing, and then when you worked enough on yourself, you will actually be more in control over what you're doing, over how you're feeling, over your emotions. And I'm saying it from experience, because even nowadays, after 19 years of riding, sometimes I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm cool and everything, but you know, something comes to my mind, and that's why you should not let your emotions control you. Even if I'm listening to some music, which actually I have on my Cardo system on JBL, but you will feel like, you know, now this energetic music is beating, and you want to push the bike more and ride more aggressively, and you know, these problems that you have in your house or on work, you feel like you want to just let it out. But this is the wrong idea. You should work personally on your things, you know, cut it in the root, figure out what's happening with you, with your life, with the situation that's causing you the issue, or you to think a lot. I needed to focus a little bit on this turn because there's a lot of, in Serbia they put lots of these small stones, and that's to prevent the road from being slippery. And actually it does this, the purpose, but you know, it's not very good for bikes in a winter time. The bike loses traction pretty soon. So unfortunately it's even more pronounced in the corners. I believe these small sand and stones drop more from the trucks. They release them in the corners, you know, when they lean a little bit. It's beautiful here, man. It's really, really nice. We didn't have a proper winter since, I don't know, since I was really, really young. So this climate change is pretty true thing. We had snow like 1 meter, 1.5 meter, and now this is the maximum we get. I think last year we didn't even get this much snow. If you're looking at somebody, hearing somebody, listening and watching him, like in person or YouTube or wherever, who is driving like lunatic, there's high chances you will do the same. Like maybe not every time, but you know, like maybe once, but then the second time is gonna be another time, and then more and more. It's just the way we behave. So you should be careful about that. Like you should be really conscious about what you're letting in your mind and what you're actually blocking out. So what I'm doing, like since long time ago, I'm researching like 2 or 3 psychological books, really good ones, and it's not boring for me to repeat this process of reading even the same book, because that's actually how you will create a habit. I know many people, you know, who have lots of books in their house, but they are not actually taking enough from them. It's like they're working on quantity, you know, they read lots of them and nothing stays in the mind, or not enough stays in the mind. So that's what I'm doing as a second thing. And again, I'm reading the articles on my phone, computer, doesn't matter, which will lead me to be a safer rider, better rider, from the people who are more experienced than me, maybe same experience, maybe even they have less experience, but even less experience can open up your perspective on something. Doesn't matter, you just stay conscious and think about it. And also this YouTube, the social media, the shorts, the TikToks, it's also important, you know, to be careful about what you see over there. You should be avoiding, like what I do, even like I even report some jerks on YouTube who I believe they will not cause harm to me, you know, but many inexperienced riders will think like, oh, this is the way, you know. I don't like this. So you should be watching only the content that will benefit you personally. That's actually quite simple. And imagine what can happen, like day in a day, month in a month, and after a couple of years you can imagine how much that will influence you if you are careful about who are you listening to and what are you watching. Because after my huge crash, which I will be probably talking about in next videos, so from that time I was just analyzing every situation in a traffic, trying to figure out where I could do better, you know. So if you have this ego in you, like, oh, I did everything fine, you know, he cut me or whatever, that's not good. You will never be good enough rider, never. Like your potential is locked. you should, you know, let your potential grow, and by doing all the things I mentioned, you will for sure achieve much more. Because no matter how much you ride, no matter how long you ride, there's always something, you know, missing out in your ride, because you cannot work on everything at once, you cannot know everything, and even a small child can open up your perspective. So try to be always open-minded, and to think about your actions in the traffic, others' actions in the traffic, and see for yourself. So that would be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I reached my home. So not my home, and my home, actually this work became my home because I'm sitting here so much. And I'll see you next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.